Hi guys, yes, I'm Dan in the house as always now. I've only found out today actually. It's Diabetes Awareness Month actually for November. I should have remembered this ages ago, but hey ho, it is me now. I wanted to talk about this today really because first of all, obviously, people may know I've got a book coming out in beginning next year called From the Diabetic Ward, which talks a lot about my struggles with diabetes after getting diagnosed with it back in 2011. I'm not going to share a piece about that today. I might do it next week, actually, to be honest with you, because it makes sense to share some of the pieces and then run up to that book getting released. But I wanted to talk about, first of all, how it impacts you in the workplace, because a few people may know some not. But obviously, I've recently left working in the civil service after working there for over 10 years in the back office of a court. Now, that job was well managed for my health conditions. And it was fascinating to see because obviously after leaving there in October, basically when the actual section was going to close, I ended up going to work back in the private sector. And I went to work at a company, which I'm not going to name, of course, for legal reasons here, but I had a torrid time of it because what I found was, and this I want to share this piece of non-fiction to talk about it in a moment, it's simply down to the fact was that although the workplace nowadays is better and certainly used to be people with health conditions and disabilities, it doesn't apply to everywhere you go. And this piece of non-fiction I'm going to share in a moment shows you in particular highlights the problems I went through with 3 weeks working at a company in central Manchester. And at the end of it, I'll talk a bit further. So this is called 3 weeks. There was a kind of poetic irony. You found out that your human resources contact was off for 2 days when you handed your notice in on the Sunday evening, and your manager didn't find out about it till the Wednesday, over 2.5 days after you'd effectively left the position. The job had seemed reasonable enough when she rang you up about a few weeks before your old job was about to close, and it seemed honest enough to make you consider the job seriously. The interview followed about a week and a half later, leaving you impressed with the lovely office, which was a complete contrast to the building you'd worked in previously, and a manager who seemed professional enough, but also nice. 2.5 weeks of no or corrupt IT systems and next to no training followed after starting, and by the start of the third week, what had started off as bad luck really started to play in your nerves, in particular when they then give you a laptop to do some extra work on, only to see in minutes the text that it was so small because of your partial eyesight, you had no chance of reading it. Meetings, and more meetings started to pour in over the next few days. Team meetings with engineers, team meetings with accountants, team meetings with contractors, and team meetings, just for the sake of team meetings, filled with more and more technical terms, none of which were explained to you. In your previous role, everything was explained as straightforward as possible to ensure the public was able to understand what was going on, and also to yourself. But they needed a dictionary to understand even the most basic terms they spoke about. And then your boss's boss introduced you the debt spreadsheet for chasing payments on the contractors. You were made aware of this during the interview, but told only it was a minor part of your role. That meeting, however, on that Wednesday, you were then told that once you start phoning around contract after contract all afternoon, chasing payments, and was told this would be a major part of your job, which you certainly hadn't been told of previously. The same then followed on the next 2 days, and by Friday, it resulted in your blood pressure and diabetes readings trebling, and you collapsed in your office after making something like 150 phone calls in 2.5 days. They told you to go and stand outside for 10 minutes, almost like they were more concerned with you collapsing in the office than anything, and then said to you in a meeting for a third of the afternoon, they were happy with some of your work you'd done that week, but they wanted more productivity of you in the following week, almost like they weren't listening to your concerns about your health and the impact this will have on you. Exhausted, you never went. Now, obviously, I said, well, that is a piece of non-fiction. Now, I've had to keep the names off it in the companies, try and keep it as obviously general as I can. But I want to share the point of this really because it shows really a lot of jobs still, and as a society, we've still got a long way to go in dealing with people who've got disabilities, health conditions in the workplace. I surprised, certainly, I surprised 2 people this I can name off the top of my head. And also Amanda's told me someone else that's surprised with this as well. So I had somebody walked away from it. I couldn't do it. And it's something else I do believe if you can afford it. I mean, I'm not rich, I'm not any stretch of thought. But if you can't do a job like that and they're not prepared to actually assist you, you often are left the choice of just walking away. And you shouldn't have been having to do that. And you think really on that, I could share the job description on this job. And I know for a fact it didn't anything about this spreadsheet they wanted me to do. And you think to yourself, 150 phone calls in 2.5 days. I've worked in call centres before, and that's absolutely staggering what it actually does to you as a person. I remember getting home on the Friday and they go to my mum and dad on the Saturday, and I was just absolutely pouring in sweat almost. I knew it, my blood pressure was sky high. Test my readings and my blood pressure. It was a case of, if I'd gone back to that job, it probably would have killed me. So, but like I said, that's what diabetes awareness has got to be. People in the workplace have to realise this. They don't realise this, you're going to look, like I said, and that's a real concern, because you think at the moment we're heading into a recession again, and as whatever way we look at it, the countries are going to struggle next couple of years, and that's how the hell is that going to affect people who've got major health conditions like that? When you're going into work, cuts into work, and they expect more off you. It's worrying. That's all I can say about that. It is seriously, seriously, seriously worrying. Take care, guys and girls. That's me saying.